Candide is a novel written in 1759 by author and philosopher Voltaire. It is a thinly veiled socio-political commentary on the condition of Europe at the time, partly on the Seven Years' War, a highly controversial issue in the period the book was published. Candide tells the fantastical story of a naive young boy who was pulled into a whirlwind of absurdity after pining for the love of his life. He was exiled from his home, forced into military service, barely escapes execution, and embarks on a chaotic journey across different continents, such as a disease ridden South America, stumbling upon the mythical golden city of El Dorado, and journeying across a war torn Europe. Though, despite their eventful travels, the book ends with the characters in a remote corner of the Ottoman Empire, peacefully tending to a small plot of land. Beyond all the grand events that happened within its pages, Voltaire subtly touches upon something deeply human, which is our longing for simplicity. This was made explicit in his ending line: Il faut cultiver nos jardins. We must cultivate our garden. So, what does all this have to do with anime cooking scenes, you might ask? Well, everything. Stop me if you've heard this before. Howl's Moving Castle is a thinly veiled socio-political commentary on Japan's war effort and the director's opposition to the invasion of Iraq, a highly controversial issue at the time of the film's release. Written by Diana Wayne Jones, directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and animated by Studio Ghibli, the film follows the fantastical journey of a naive young girl named Sophie, whose chance encounter with the titular character Howl pulls her into a whirlwind of absurdity. Following this chance encounter, she was uprooted from her home as she watches the love of her life forced into military service, driven into exile, and tangled in a chaotic journey. One that takes her to the moving castle, the opulent city of Kingsbury, and through multiple war-torn cities. And yet, for all its intricate world building, magic, and destruction, the film slows down for a cooking scene. Why? Studio Ghibli does this quite often, taking a pause in the middle of its grand narrative for quiet, everyday moments. This has given birth to countless montage, shorts, and TikToks of Ghibli-esque cooking videos. And it's not just Ghibli. Films such as The Garden of Words, Flavor of Youths, all indulge in these small, seemingly purposeless moments. This brings me to the first reason why anime cooking scenes are comforting. They're an answer to our longing for simplicity. When the world-ending plot takes a back seat and we get to just simply exist in a moment of peace. The war in Howl's Moving Castle still rages on in the background, but for the moment, Sophie and Calcifer are just cooking breakfast. In the Garden of Words, Takao and Yukino's relationship aren't being scrutinized, analyzed, or interrogated. No one is questioning the peculiarities of their circumstances, the age gap, or the fleeting nature of their meetings. Instead, we are simply invited to a quiet moment as rainwater trails down a window pane, as hands move methodically, slicing onions for a shared meal amidst a rainy afternoon. These moments drown out the noise of the world and highlights the beauty in the mundane. Because sure, you may never fly on a witch's broomstick, or ride a cat bus, or soar through the sky in a war-torn fantasy land. But who's to say that making a bowl of ramen with a loved one isn't just as magical? The fact that these cooking scenes appear in so many anime films must mean they serve some sort of greater narrative purpose. Well, yes. For the movie, they flesh out the characters, fill runtime, and add an aesthetic charm to the whole story. But for the narrative, I argue they serve no greater function. But that's exactly why we love them. This is what sets Ghibli-esque cooking scenes apart from other depiction of food in films. Take Hannibal, for example. Its cooking scenes are methodical, sinister, and serves a thematic purpose. Or take another anime, Shogeki no Soma, where cooking is a competition. In both cases, the act of cooking has a goal beyond itself, and it pushes the story along. But the kind of anime cooking we find so comforting often has no higher purpose. In these scenes, no one is trying to win, no one is trying to prove anything, and no one is cooking as a means to an end. Thus, beyond this superb animation, we may find beauty in the act itself. As Immanuel Kant argues, such are the most natural forms of beauty, ones without a purpose. And that's what these anime cooking scenes capture, the calm, romanticized beauty of the mundane, untainted by the need of an ulterior motive. This is where anime truly shines. This contrast between the mundane and the magical tells us that beauty isn't just in the sweeping battles or mythical creatures. It can also be found in the steam rising from a fresh bowl of soup, the soft glow of a kitchen light at dusk, or the sound of a knife gently chopping vegetables. Hi everyone, sorry for the slight hiatus there. I've been trying to experiment with my content as you can see. But in the following months, I'll be more focused on creating YouTube videos. So let me know what you think about the new style and look forward to the next one. And see you there.